Hello, I'm Rodrigo and this is Joe.
Hello.
And we're doing episode 2 of Cooking with Rodrigo and Joe. And today we are going to be talking about the song called Forget You by Ceelo Green. And we'll be doing, we're continuing with this idea of talking about songs that are popular, and as a gigging musician you have to come across every now and then, and you better be prepared for it. And we're looking at them from a bass player and drummer perspective.
The song was written by Bruno Mars, Ceelo Green and Ari Levine, and those are the personnel on the track as well. They played all the instruments, and it's Bruno Mars's kind of gang of collaborators, I guess, a production team called the Smeezingtons. The song was released in 2010 and was a massive hit, actually. And it's a kind of soul-influenced, sort of Motown-style song, with sort of funky groove.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's a retro taste to it. They're trying to make it sound like something from Motown.
Let's have a look at the bass part for the song. Rodrigo, you were saying that there was a James Brown influence in the sound of the song. Is this a James Brown-like bass line?
Yeah, I think one thing they share with these two songs that we covered so far is the fact that you're probably better off sticking with the bass line the way it is, instead of trying too many fills or variation. It works very effectively as it is. It's simple. I'll just it highlights the chord progression. So the song goes C to D and F and back to the C. So these are the 4 bars, 4 chords that you've got. So what you do is kind of like a anacrusis, you pick up thing. You start earlier to land on the target note. So groups of 3 notes leading you to the target note, and they start on N3. N4 and 1 2 3 and 4 and 1 2 3 and 4 and 1 2 3 and 4 and 1 2.
Okay, cool.
And
I like a bit of counting. Am I right in thinking that the bass notes are the same in the verses and the choruses?
Yes, but the changes, there's a very subtle difference that makes a massive difference, is the fact that you hold on to the note on the choruses and you cut it short on at least the first part of the verse. So it's important to highlight what you can achieve by changing the length of the note, because we talk about changing the rhythm and changing the pitch a lot, and not a lot of thought is given to how long the note rings, and that can affect the groove somewhat. So here you go from doing this, I say forget you, oh yeah, and then and there's a gap. You can see that it leaves a gap for other instruments and the vocals to come in and out. It becomes more of a call and response dialogue sort of thing.
Yeah.
So by leaving that space, the bass allows to the music to be one kind of conversation, whereas when you leave the note ringing on a more chorusy, sing out loud bit, you get a different textural effect.
Yeah,
Does
and
that make
that's
sense?
kind of matched with the drums, where in the verse the tight hi-hat and snare sound then gives way in the chorus to the open ringing of a sort of ride bell being played, which is longer, sort of more open notes that fit with that longer note of the bass as well. So those things go well together.
So the verses are kind of conversational, and on the choruses is all out.
Yeah, and that's the bit that makes you want to boogie.
So what about the drums? What's going on in the drum department so far for the verses and the choruses?
Yeah, very similar to the bass. The drum groove in the verse and the chorus is pretty much the same. In the verses, we play the groove on the hi-hat. In the choruses, we play the groove on the ride, but otherwise everything else is the same. Bass drum is on 1, 3, and 3 and. The snare is on the 2, 2, ah, and the 4. And we kind of tend to accent the quarter notes. So you're playing eighth notes on the hi-hat, but with an accent like this. This bloody thing. Or something like that. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That's your verse, and then in the chorus we play the same thing, but I'm going to be playing the accents on the bell of the ride cymbal. So it's like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 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 And like the bass, I would just learn how to play that groove and stick with it. If you do want to add some variations at all, you can just add some ghost notes on the snare drum. Wouldn't get in the way of the main feel of the groove. So we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. You can now allow yourself a little bit of variation, but I wouldn't overdo it. I'd keep it as simple as possible. The only other notable element of the drum part here is the fill. The same fill is played pretty much throughout the whole song, and it's a very simplified version of a Motown fill. And you hear this fill on a bunch of Motown records, but it's basically what I call a blow the bloody doors off fill, like this. And again, on the record it's played either with a couple of toms or just the floor tom, so it might be, or with the bass at the end like that. And the original Motown fill would have sounded like this, with a little roll there. We've got the drums and the bass for the verse and the chorus, but then we get into this break section, and the bass part gets a little bit more interesting, doesn't it, Rodrigo?
Yeah, that's the fun bit for the bass player. I mean, it's fun to play the groove and dance along with it, but it's the bit that gets a bit more challenging. So what I'm going to try and do is layer it as from an easy way of doing this. So let's say you enjoy playing the rest of the song, but it comes this bit and you think, oh no, I don't know what to do. So I'm going to try and do it in a very simple and basic way, and we'll build it up from there. So what's going on there is we've got 4 bars and 4 chords. One chord here, which is E, 7th fret of the A string, and then you count 1, 2, 3, 4, A, D, and G. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That will get you through the verse, the breakdown bit, and that's what's going on, but it in a more complicated level. When I start on top of each of these passing notes, high, key notes, I'm gonna add some passing movement. I can do this kind of thing, 5th an octave, and do the same. That makes it a lot more interesting. So if we say a second stage would be this, playing the E, playing the A, the D and the G. For each one of those, adding some passing material using those 5th and octave notes that you'll find 2 frets on the next string and 2 frets above. So 7, 9, 9. Yeah?
Yep.
A. So if you can do that, good. Then try to add more chromatic approaches to the notes and some pentatonic runs, and then you get something like this. That sort of thing.
Okay, cool. So
I'll add the demonstration with the actual bass player's version of it that you find on the record,
cool.
with the tab You can see this on my YouTube channel too. I don't want to get too deep into it, but that's what's going on. 4 different notes, twice around, and then the stops. F, G, and D, F, and G, and back to. So yeah, if you want to see a note per note chart of that, come to my video. We'll find the link on the description.
Okay, cool, excellent. Make sure you all check it out, bass players in particular. So I think that covers the bulk of what anybody needs to know about this song. Obviously, if you're trying to learn how to play a song, stick it on in your headphones and play along to it as much as you can. And I think with most cover songs, you want to get familiar with it so that you're almost able to play through the bulk of it in autopilot. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And this is a fun one. It's not one of those, I must learn this song because people want me to play it. It's fun. It's cool to play it.
Yeah,
It's
I like
catchy.
playing it.
I mean, I enjoy it. I don't dread it at all. It's always a joy to maybe not so much, but it's okay. It's cool. It's nice.
Okay, good. I hope you've learned something from that. Let us know if there are any other songs you'd like us to look at. Again, with a focus to popular stuff that everybody likes, I guess. But we might try and do some more obscure numbers at some point. If you enjoyed this, tell your friends. We're open to any feedback at all. If you'd like some extra lessons about this stuff, you can get in contact with me or Rodrigo. All the details will be provided in the description. And, if you like what this is, subscribe to our channel and give us a thumbs up as well. And hopefully we'll progress with more interesting videos as we go forward.
Thank you. Thanks for watching this. See you next time.